Hello and welcome to my channel, Iris Rainbow. I wanted to make a video for the full moon tomorrow, which is in the sign of Aquarius. Sun is in Leo currently, and tomorrow during the full moon, the moon is conjunct with Saturn. And Sun and Moon are also being squared by Mars, Uranus, and North Node in Taurus, and the South Node is currently in Scorpio. So we have planets or important points in all of the fixed signs, which is Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio. And so Saturn and the Moon, as well as in Aquarius, as well as the Sun and Leo, are being squared, like I said, by Uranus, North Node, and Mars. And the square between Uranus and Saturn has been something that has been ongoing over the last couple of years. Saturn is the ruler of, the things of Earth. Saturn is heavy, it's a dense energy, it's power structures and systems that exist in the world. And Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury, and it's basically information from on high, from God, basically, from the mind of God. And so, we've been seeing over the last few years, and we've also had aspects with Pluto as well, and we've been seeing over the last few years a lot of things breaking down, a lot of structures breaking down in our personal lives and in the world at large. And Uranus brings in radical change. We just passed through the Lionsgate portal. We're actually still in it. It is it's an ongoing alignment between the Earth, star Sirius, the brightest star in the sky, the Sun, and Orion's belt. And I actually did make a video for the Lionsgate portal, which the exact date is 8/8. But the Lionsgate portal is actually takes place over a period of weeks, and in the ancient world, in ancient times, Sirius has always been a very important star because it's the brightest star in the sky. And this time of year, when Sirius is rising with the Sun, with the constellation Leo, this was a very important time of year, particularly in ancient Egypt. That is when the Nile would flood, and the delta, the Nile Delta, and that would bring fertility to the land. And so this is also the hottest time of the year. Sirius is part of the Alpha Canis Majoris, I believe that's how you say it, constellation. So it's known as the dog star, and these are the dog days of summer. It's believed that during this time of year, when Sirius is rising with the Sun, this is actually the hottest time of the year, hence the dog days of summer. So we're in it now. I actually did make a video on the 8/8 portal, but I have not posted it yet. It's been a very busy time. There's been a lot of things going on. There's a lot that's happening, and then there's also been a lot of kind of changes in plans, and everything's in a state of flux. And this is a characteristic of Uranus, which is unpredictability and things not going as planned, and really unexpected, surprising events that can kind of shift the trajectory of our lives. And so with the Aquarius full moon tomorrow, especially being that it's conjunct Saturn, and the moon is, our inner experience. And so this is can bring up some heavy things, but it can also help us be thinking about the structures in our lives, and you know, not only our past, where we're coming from, but also the kind of future that we want to build. And Uranus, though it does have disruptive elements and properties to it, the thing is that Uranus is here to destroy what is outdated, what is restrictive, what is no longer working. Uranus is known as the liberator, as well as a very revolutionary energy. And you know, the sign or the archetype of Aquarius, it relates to the collective, but it also relates to outsiders. And outsiders, people who are different, people who think differently, people who are ahead of their time, are the ones who drive evolution of consciousness and thought and innovation. And so Uranus is a very important planet. I have very prominent Uranus in my chart, and it's my favorite of all the planets. Another thing to keep in mind is that Aquarius is ruled by both Saturn and Uranus. The ancient rulership of Uranus was Saturn, and the modern rulership is Uranus. So during the time of this Aquarius full moon, the moon is conjunct Saturn, and then there's also this square with Uranus, North Node, and Mars. So it's a very activating time. The star Sirius, which is currently rising with the sun, as it does in the constellation of Leo at the time of Leo, so, you know, late July through maybe even like mid-July through mid-August is when Sirius is rising with the sun. And Sirius was one of the names for Sirius is the son of the sun, and it was believed that Sirius was our spiritual son. And so that there are a lot of light codes, and there's a lot of information that's coming down around this time. And this time of year is kind of a time of quickening. In the northern hemisphere, this is a time when we're getting close to the end of summer, and so there's a lot going on. You know, people are trying to get in as much activity as they can before, you know, school starts and it cools off and everything sort of settles down again. So this is a time when a lot of things are in a state of flux, you know, every year, but especially this year with the Saturn-Uranus square, the activation of Mars over Uranus and the North Node. And of course, the North Node talks about our destiny, our personal and collective destiny. So the events that are happening right now are changing our personal and collective destinies, and new pathways are opening up. There were a lot of things that have been collapsed over the last few years. The United States is still in the Pluto return, United States Pluto return. So a lot is coming to the surface. You know, the U.S. Pluto return, this is a time when Pluto is in the same place now that it was when the United States was founded as a nation. And so all of the sort of skeletons are coming out of the closet, all of the things, all of the injustices, all the things that have been buried within our history are rising to the surface to be seen, to be reconciled. And you know, this is just a very fast-moving time. There's a lot that's up in the air. There's a lot of changes that are occurring very quickly, and this is in our personal lives and also on a global scale. With the Aquarius full moon, it's happening around, can't remember the exact degree, but all the planets and points that are in fixed signs right now are gathered around between 17 and like 22 or 23 degrees. So if you have planets, personal planets, in your chart that are between 17 and 22 or 23 degrees of the fixed signs, and this is going to be an important time for you. Of course, it's an important time for everyone, but you know, again, like when it comes to transits and things, as far as like who's going to feel it the most, it's really important to take a look at your astrology chart so you can kind of understand what planets, what houses, what signs are being affected in your personal chart, and how these how these transits may be affecting you personally. And I do offer astrology readings as well as tarot readings and other spiritual services. So I'll drop the link down below for my website if you want to check that out. And I feel it's like a long intro, and sorry if I'm talking fast. Like I said, it's been a busy week, and trying to get out this video for the Aquarius full moon, and harnessing the power of this particular time of year, this Lionsgate energy that we're working with. So, Aquarius is about being yourself and not being afraid to express who you are, being detached from the opinions of others. Aquarian energy is very much kind of seen as being like ahead of its time. It's sort of this future wave of energy, and so that's why Aquarian people can often be sort of outsiders, because we're bringing in information that maybe not everybody is ready to hear yet. And this relates to alien energy, it relates to like star seed energy and stuff that's information that's coming in from other planets even. And there's a lot of shakeups happening on Earth with Uranus and Taurus, and then the square to the moon, Saturn, and the sun right now. So yeah, I just want to go ahead and do a little energy session for the Aquarius full moon, and just giving us the space to be our authentic selves. The sun is in Leo, and Leo is the lion energy. It's leadership, in tarot it's the strength card, and it's about taming our inner beast and self-mastery. And it's also about being able to take up space and being able to be seen, and not being afraid to be seen for our authenticity and who we are, even if we're weird, even if we're different. That when we have the courage to be ourselves and take up that kind of space, we also encourage other people as well, and make other people safe to be who they are. And I've had people tell me that before, that they appreciated me being myself because it gives other people their permission. We spend a lot of time worrying about what other people or what the world thinks of us, and there are all these social norms in our society and culture that exist that are actually really toxic. And the only way we're going to be able to break out of those things and break through into a better world, a healing world, is when we are doing that inner work and expanding that outward, and then that helps to inspire others to do the same. And so the more of us that are doing this healing work on the planet right now, the better chance we have of being able to reverse some of these negative scenarios that we find ourselves in, especially things like pollution and what's happening on this planet, wars, corporations, and just how out of control these corrupted power structures have become. And so in order to shift these dynamics and to create more equitable structures outside of ourselves, we have to first work on doing that work within and deconditioning ourselves from the toxicity of the world, worldly beliefs, and collapsing these old oppressive structures and replacing them with structures that are not based on control, that are based on equity, and that are based on justice, and giving everyone a fair chance. And So yeah, it's a lot of work to be done, and it's like no one person can change the world, but you know, when we individually are taking that accountability for our own energy that we're putting out, and we are aligning with the truth of who we are, first of all, we meet with a lot less resistance in our personal lives. We're able to begin to manifest the lives that we want, but we're also contributing to this healing wave, and this is what we need to ascend to the next level of consciousness, and to allow these old structures and old ways to really fall away and clear away. And you know, there's comfort in what is known, even if it is harmful, even if it is toxic, even if it's harming us. There's a comfort to these things because they're what we know. And you know, Aquarius Uranus energy is also very much about the unknown, you know, stepping into the unknown and not knowing what is next, but just trusting and having faith in the synchronicity and the serendipity and the intelligence of the universe. So yeah, let's go ahead and start. It's kind of a long intro, but thanks for being here today, and please like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. It helps me, it helps my channel grow. And then like I said, I'll post links below for my website if you want to get a personal reading with me. And let's go ahead and get into the session. So I like to begin with taking a few deep breaths and just getting centered and grounded in your body. And you can get a comfortable seat or lie down comfortably. You are welcome to watch the video, or if you would prefer to just listen. And just be ready and open to receiving whatever is incoming for you, these new light codes and these activations, and just allowing all that is negative, all that is restricting, all that is oppressive within yourself to be cleared away. And each breath in, inhaling, and exhaling. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Just being calm and centered. And it's so important to allow ourselves to rest, especially when we're going through a time where there's a lot of changes, there's a lot that's happening in the world around us, personal lives. Things are shifting and rearranging. So we just want to give ourselves the time and the space to rest and relax so that we can integrate the new information and the changes. I'm gonna clear this singing bowl. Clearing a lot out over the last couple of years, and now it's really a time to start calling in. You know, we've done a lot of work to remove and reconcile with our own negative thoughts and beliefs and behaviors. And now is the time when we can start calling in new experiences and just let the past go fully. And setting the intention and setting the tone. Just having so much gratitude and so much thanks for all the good things in our lives, and knowing that anything that has been lost, anything that has been taken away, anything that has left, we let it go. We let it go in peace, and we trust that everything is aligning for us in exactly the way that it needs to. And we don't have to worry about anything at all. And just trusting the process. Some magic beads in here. Need them. This is a time to celebrate our uniqueness. This is a time to show who we really are, and to have confidence in ourselves. Leo, where the sun is, currently relates to the heart and the solar plexus. And so that's our confidence, and sometimes after we've been through a lot of difficulty or life changes, we have to rebuild that confidence back, and so that we can feel good about ourselves, so that we can show up authentically. So we're just clearing and removing any negative thoughts that might be lingering, and we're just replacing them with positive thoughts instead. And the more that we practice these skills, the more it just becomes automatic. I find myself, still maybe falling into old negative thoughts or mental habits, but then since I've been doing this work now, I will notice it and I can redirect it very quickly into a more positive direction. And we're learning the self-mastery here. The Strength card relates to Leo, and the Star relates to Aquarius. So we're getting the courage here to follow our dreams. We're beginning to really believe in ourselves again, and to rebuild some of what was lost. So, many of the foundations foundations and structures in our lives, they, you know, they were not as strong as they could be. We had cracks in the foundation, and we have had to, in many cases, you know, watch a lot of things get swept away and deconstructed, and now we're back at the foundation. We're building from the ground up. But now when we build these structures this next time, we're building it on a solid foundation. We're going back and we're sealing up and fixing up all the cracks, so that when we rebuild this, these structures in our lives will stand the test of time, and they will be built on integrity, and they will be built to last. I'm just calling down the blessings of the higher beings, our loving ancestors and spirit guides, and beings of love and light, wisdom and guidance, calling down these healing codes and this new information. Allowing our hearts, our minds, bodies to be filled with what is loving, what is positive, what is encouraging, what gives us strength. And we have learned the hard way what it is that we do not want, and now it is time to call in what we do want. We're more sure now, we're more aware. Many realizations during this time, especially over the last 2 years, since the beginning of COVID. We've had a lot of time to think and to introspect, and now is the time to take action, make things happen with intention and in alignment with our truth and our authenticity. Calling in blessings, abundance, prosperity, and as we call back to ourselves all of our energy, and we release anything which is not ours to carry. Because we need to be light and free, no longer weighed down by the past, the heavy weights and chains. And let those dissolve now. Aquarius is an earth sign, but it is the water bearer, and obviously the word aqua means water as well. So in the depiction of the star card, which relates to Aquarius, there's a naked woman collecting water and pouring water, and so there's a level of vulnerability here. There's a level of trust. There's a level of knowing that we are safe, that we are protected, and this is the, as well as the nourishment, the spiritual nourishment, the water, the image of baptismal and cleansing out. It is only our own negative thoughts, our own negative beliefs, our own histories of trauma that keep us stuck and hinder us from following those dreams and from being our authentic selves and from going for what it is that we truly want, rather than listening to the voices of others. And we are not here to fit into the world. We are here to create a new template, a new blueprint. And clearing the selenite. Clearing out the old. Healing water to cleanse and purify our minds, hearts, bodies, our energy. And just flowing with the universe. When we are living from our truth and our authenticity, then we are free to manifest and things come more easily. We do not have to struggle, because when we align with our truth, then we are aligning with the universe. And when we align with the universe, then automatically we flow through as we trust and allow the universe to do the work for us. And we know that everything is being worked out in divine timing. And this is why it is so important to trust ourselves and to tap into our own hearts, our own minds, our own dreams, and release the outer static, the outer distractions from the world outside of ourselves, and focus on getting in balance within the world within. Letting everything be so light, so free. There's nothing to fear or worry. We are aligning, and the universe is working with us. We are working with the universe, bringing down these light codes and this information. Meridian crystal. Remembering the times when we have felt that peace and that harmony, and the times where we have truly felt that communion with ourselves and with others, and trusting that as we continue to align within the inner alignment, that the outer world will align around us as well. And we will be creating a ripple effect, butterfly effect, through our own healing process that is aiding the healing process of the planet Earth and all her inhabitants, and even healing to other universes, other parallel timelines and dimensions, receiving the codes, allowing the new information, the new templates to be received. We have made a lot of space within, made a lot of space in our lives so that we can manifest new stories, new timelines, new destinies. And putting the fate back into our own hands. Putting the power back into our own hands. And truly believing in ourselves. Truly trusting the process. Sending all this healing, sending these prayers out, setting intention, balancing our universes inside and out. This stone is called Orlite 23, and it's a form of amethyst, but it actually has 23 different stones in here. And this is a stone that was recently discovered, very recent times, and this is amethyst relates to our crown chakra, which is, the higher heavenly spiritual realms. And this is a stone of higher guidance and angelic assistance. Calling down this higher wisdom from heaven, from the heavenly upper realms, the realms where only love exists, and it is through this opening, this crown chakra opening, calling down the angelic divine assistance, because they are always there to help us on the other side. We just have to ask, and we don't have to do rituals and spells. We don't have to work with deities, and I would actually recommend, if you do those things, to be very careful and know who you're dealing with, because really all we need is ourselves and our spiritual connection to our higher powers. We don't need candles, we don't need spells and rituals. We can utilize those things, but all we really need is intention and prayer and connection to the earth and to the stars. Calling down divine wisdom and angelic assistance. Connecting our God-like nature to the universe, unplugging from the matrix and plugging back into universal life force energy. Drawing down this wisdom from the crown and grounding it into the earth, bringing heaven to earth. So, it's time to come back. It's time to come back to ourselves and leave you here. These rose quartz beads, sending healing to our hearts. May have a light-hearted energy. May it be grounded and centered in our heart and connected to all that is. Thank you for joining me today. I'm gonna have to stop the video here. I hope this was helpful. Please like and subscribe. Until next time.